I am truly my own worst critic when it comes to my cooking, my baking. So with the waffles, I think I would have benefited if I used just maybe a teaspoon of sugar. I think it would have heightened the cream taste with the crunch on the edges that I like so much. But that's the downside of being a diabetic. Cannot sugar. I wasn't supposed to cook and cream. Cannot do the fruit because they do the same amount of damage. Just the natural sugars in the fruits. So, damned if I do, damned if I don't. It'd be really impressive. Maybe I can use the artificial sweeteners. Nah, might not taste as good. But I would be really impressed if somebody was to invent sugar-free sugar. Can you imagine that? Sugar-free sugar? Probably gonna be one of the most sugariest thing ever created. Because I always tell my wife that, I don't know why I get referred to by the doctors or by anybody to try sugar-free items. And the sugar-free items are the ones that taste just more sugary than the ones with the added sugar. But all in all, I think my waffles came out good. I mean, I ain't the greatest in the world at baking or cooking. And I don't really like to toot my own horn. But for this morning breakfast, burp, motherfucking burp. Not like burp, burp, like burp, burp, like big trucks honking their horns. And to my friend, Wani, if you catch this video, you know what comes after that, yeah? So, I think my love for sugar, diabetes runs in the family. It's hereditary, so, you might skip some of the people in your family and may not. For a few of my cousins, they were lucky, and they are still lucky that they weren't the one to catch it. I wasn't so lucky. But I never helped myself out when I was growing up. We used to live right next to the sugarcane field. And against Grandpa's wishes, we would still sneak into the field. Because still sugarcane. So for those of you who think nowadays that what you guys are doing are setting trends, like that stupid video on TikTok about drinking water out of the hose, skipping over shit, ringing people's doorbells and running away. Fuckers, you guys never invent that. We never either, but we did them back then. Late 70s, early 80s. Yup, not just kids in the 90s. So if you're thinking that you guys didn't invent eating sugar straight from the sugar cane, fuck you. You never. I never either, but I know I can say fuck you to you for trying to claim them. So Grandpa never liked us going in the sugarcane field because they set fire to the damn thing all kind of time of day in the night. And if you stay stuck in the wrong part of the sugarcane field and they set that place ablaze. Sugarcane and human ashes up in the air. That was kind of like our cue to know when we were going to go pick from the sugarcane field. The days that we see the ashes falling, we wake up, we already know the smell. We see the ashes, that's just confirmation, like, after school today, we're going in that sugarcane field, we're picking out sugarcane, we're bringing home here, Because if we get busted in a field, it's not the kids that get in trouble, it would be the parents. And if you got your parents in trouble, that's an ass whooping you never like. So take them home, hide. And even though Grandpa knew where our hiding spots was, up in his mango tree where we wasn't supposed to be, certain days he would know what we was doing and he would just let us go. But for the better part of the week, like 6 out of the 7 days, negative. He wasn't even allowed around his mango tree. But you go anyways. So I think it was from there, the living right by the sugarcane field, a little ways up the road, if you jumped on your bike and you cut through the canals, had a Dole plantation. Can go jack some pineapples with your friends. You couldn't go with your brothers or your sisters or your cousins because eventually one of you guys gonna rat each other out because you just never like get lickings. For me, I think it was just coming to catch cracks. Because my cousins used to rat me out. Oh well. That was then, this is now. It doesn't really matter. And then if you're really brave, like super brave, because we lived in a part of Waipahu that led to Village Park. And Dole Plantation is right above there. If you're really brave, get the little factory area. The trucks that go and get the harvest, where they load up the trucks and they take them back to the warehouse area. You just hang out there, pick your moment, and try grab. Because you know, like just grab anyone out of the fields. They all wasn't all that good. Trust me. Some of them tasted like crap, but the ones on the truck, they was really good. Take them home. Do what you gotta do. If you bought them when you wasn't supposed to bring them home, you get lickings. But then you also get told, either you cut them up yourself, because I ain't cutting them for you, or you eat them out there. No come home with them. So most of the times was, chance them, bite into them. Or if you had a machete or a knife or something for cut them. So I just had this knack for sugary things, sugary items since I was young. On top of that, all the candies. So although my diabetes is hereditary, loving sugar at such a young age and always wanting to have sugar and get sugar and do what I had to do, I never helped myself out. It was fun. Those were the days. So, the purpose of this video wasn't to talk about sugar, in a sense. So all this time being laid up, recovering, trying to learn how to do things that I knew how to do already. Because eventually one day, me collecting Social Security gonna come to a stop, and I need one game plan. So I trying to work on one. Earlier this year, I was thinking about saving money, maybe opening up one bakery or donut, or kind of like a cross between a Malapua truck and one food truck, except all I can sell is donuts or pastries or stuff like that. It's a lot of work. I got a lot of work ahead of me in terms of recovery if I ever want to do that. But I did come up with one idea. I came up with this thing called a waffle soda. It's you take the malasada, put them in your waffle iron, press them, cook them, and that's it. Waffle soda. The only question was, put the sugar on before or after it mix it to the waffle iron. Nowadays, people get fillings for malasadas, so make the filling, make the malasadas with them, put them in the waffle iron. Plenty work in terms of cleaning the waffle iron when you're done. Or do the waffle soda and the filling. You can either like take a scoop, put it on the top, decorate them, do what you gotta do, or make them buttercream out of them. Or if any of you are familiar with a log cake, where you take the thin sheet of cake and you put your buttercream filling and you roll it up until it looks like a log. I love those things, even though I'm not supposed to. But kind of something like that. But that is a lot of work, and the person I rely on for a lot of feedback when it comes to my cooking is my wife. One, she told me she would never try that because of the amount of sugar that would have to go into it, which is right, because I can take four malasadas, put them on the waffle iron, press them, and bad enough with the malasadas, you already put sugar on both sides, yeah, and that's just one small donut. Now you're expanding them, and with the design of your waffle iron, that's more sugar that can get trapped in it, especially when it's hot. So that's why I said put sugar on one side, put the filling on top, or maybe make them buttercream and do like a log cake. Make the entire malasada with the filling, press them, slave by washing your waffle iron because it'll become a mess. Add more sugar to the batter for the malasada. A lot of things to work out. But that's one of the things I was thinking of doing. I mean, it's something that I don't know if anybody's ever thought of it. I know I probably ain't the first one to think of it, but I don't think anybody has put it into fruition. And then to, make a mobile service out of it. I think that would do good, all depending on the areas I provide the service in. Like, I really don't think it would do so hot in Kaneohe, but I think if I hit up from Waipahu to Makaha, I think it'll do good. It's a lot of ground to cover. I think if I was to hit up areas where, because the kids going to eat up that stuff, but if it leads, I don't know if I would do something like that, because if it leads to illnesses that lead to complications that lead to death for a kid, nowadays anybody and everybody for anything and everything can be held liable for the outcomes of others, because somebody get paid for something. It certainly wouldn't be my intention to purposely go out there and kill somebody. But I think pretty much they'll find a way to call that, like, since you knew what you're doing, that's like premeditation. That's what they call it. Premeditated murder or manslaughter, whatever the fuck they call it. Still might do it though. I need certain things to happen and fall into place in order to do that. First thing that needs to happen and fall into place is obviously being able to walk without my walker. So plenty of work to be done still. I haven't gone to the gym for the past almost 2 weeks. I've been doing a lot of walking, and the other day when I went to 2 doctor's appointments in the same day, the parking was pretty far, so I had to walk and walk and walk and walk, and I grumbling about not being able to walk, yet I grumbling because the amount of walking I did leads me to the condition I'm in right now, man. Like yesterday, I did my laundry. I mean, I'm used to going up and down the stairs like 3 or 4 times if I have to. Load the washer, come back up, go back down, load the dryer, come back up, go down, get the clothes out of the dryer. And, if I had extra loads in between, that's added going up and down the stairs that I gotta do. Yesterday was just one load. I did the first walk. I went down, I loaded, came back up, went down, put the clothes on the washer to the dryer, came back up, but when it was time to go get the clothes out of the dryer, I just couldn't. I got to the top of the stairs, and as I went to take my first step down, I don't know if it was automatic defeat, but my leg was like, this isn't such a wise idea, and my head was like, I'm gonna get you down there. Not too sure about getting you back up here. And everybody in the area was at work, so not like I would have any assistance coming up the stairs. And although I have the life button, it's not the reason to be pressing it, because I kind of walk up the stairs. So I left my clothes in the dryer, messaged my wife. She said to ask her mom if she could do it for me. I did. My mother-in-law did. That's how it had to get done, and that kind of irritated me because I'm starting to really like being able to do things for myself, and having to ask for help with something that I know I can do, especially since I've been doing it as of late. It's like a absolute mind fuck. So just thing to work out. That is something that I plan on doing. So once I can get my ability to walk without a walker, would be one step. Like I stated before, driving would be the next step, because pretty much I'm gonna be the one-man band. I ain't gonna hire nobody for drive the wagon for me. Even if I gotta do them out of my own truck, I can do that too. So I gotta be able to walk without grumbling about it. I gotta be able to drive. I gotta be able to stand a long period of time. Right now, when I was under physical therapy, when I was undergoing physical therapy, I think we got up to 2 minutes at the most where I can stand before I needed to hold on to something or grab onto something to keep my balance. Nowadays, I can stand longer if I just place my feet differently, But sometimes it's just uncomfortable, and then I just got to keep shifting feet. But sometimes in the process of shifting feet, I lose balance and boom, down helicopter. So we're going to get to that. So recover, walk without the walker, stand for a long period of time, drive, funding for everything to start. That would mean having to go get a job. I ain't afraid of having to go back to work. My brain speed wasn't the greatest to begin with. It ain't as good as it was before my stroke. Now sometimes it takes me a long time to process a lot of things. Like I used to be quick, like those people you see on TV with doing math. I proved it to a friend and his wife over the phone. They held the calculator. They threw out the problems. I did it. I got it before the calculator. Numbers was my thing, but nowadays you're gonna see me doing a lot of like what you see me doing now, trying to just think. When you see my eyes going all over the place, it ain't because I cannot look into the camera, because I can. It's just because from last week's Saturday's event of how it felt when I woke up, and it felt like the film or the lens was being torn off. Right now, I cannot, I can stare and I can stare, but eventually, because of my mind thinking it's seeing something else, the eyeball gonna venture off into something else. And until I get that corrected, a lot of technical things I gotta correct before I can go into business of that waffle soda idea. And if anybody out there sees this, hears this, thinks it's a good idea and wants to claim it, hey, by all means, go for it. Knock yourself out. Hope it works out good. There's other things to do. There's other things to make. Other kind of treats. Other kind of treats that I really shouldn't think of to be making. But I kind of help. I've been like that since I was 6, 7 years old. So that's like 44, 45 years already. A while back ago, when I was trying to learn how to do affiliate marketing, it was starting to get fun. It keeps you busy. I wouldn't mind trying to start doing that again. I may. To be honest, I already did. I kind of do nothing when it comes to the laptop right now, so everything is being off of my phone. When I was in a nursing home and my wife was getting the place ready for me to come home, if that one nurse didn't treat me the way she did, it really took a lot out of me mentally to deal with it. It really stunk. And with the complaining I did about it, I was only able to come home 2 days earlier. Not because of the system. That was basically just the day that my wife could really make sure she was home to receive me when the ambulance came and dropped me off, But we worked it out to where she was able to come and get me from the nursing home. But in the midst of all that, I wasn't thinking straight. She asked me, or I think she told me more like she was gonna throw away my computer. And thinking of how everything was gonna be laid out, at the time I just knew there was no place for my computer, not even to store it. So when she said that, I was like, yeah, go throw them away. Now I wish I never tell her to throw them away, because on top of that computer was a lot of programs to do advertising, self-marketing, to edit. All the things that I said I'm gonna be doing when it comes to making my videos and stuff. I had everything on that computer. The only thing I knew was my kid and her boyfriend was in charge of throwing everything away. And if she's watching this video, if by any chance you didn't throw away that computer and you don't want to tell me about it, that's fine. But since you got your own little online store going on and you're looking for ways to advertise or market it, look into that computer, because on there is a lot of programs that would benefit you guys. And I wish you guys luck in doing so if you guys never throw them away. So, instead of thinking way out there, I should think of now. But by thinking way out there, that's because eventually the money gonna run out, and the day the money runs out is the day I need a new cash flow to be coming in. So I gotta work on stuff like that. So though that's the idea, open a bakery, do the food truck thing, or do it out of my own truck. Gotta get a license for that. Gotta take food inspection tests. Really gotta know it. Because I watched how my wife and my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law studied for their testing. And then when I had to go take a test just to get my temporary bar pass, it's a lot. The coconut registering as quickly as it used to. I gotta work on that too. But my cookie and cream waffles, I would give it a B plus at best. And the thing is, so far, my mother-in-law didn't eat. I'm not sure if she's gonna. I don't think that's her thing. My wife's still sleeping. Kind of hoping she doesn't, but if she does, she does. She eats it. There's quite a few left over, and I only can do two. Even though I shouldn't even do one. But I know I cannot do more than two, because I gotta check my sugars all the time now with this app going off all the time. That's why I shut them off, and then I forget to do the things I'm supposed to sometimes. Like turn them back on so that they remind me, check your sugar. Write down note, take notes, put it in the app so your diabetes team can see what's going on. But I think one lady who called me last week, not reading the notes, just telling her voice that she just basically think I'm fucking up. I mean, I am, but if she reads my notes, she would see where I'm fucking up. We all know. They know, I know. And it's not so much the like before, yeah, where it was, Lambert, yes, eat all the sugary shit, okay? Okay. Now it's I cannot. And it's not so much so that it's just the thing that you don't expect the sugars to really affect you are the ones that are affecting you the most. Way worse than adding in everything else. At least for me it does. And I got proof in my blood sugar reading. Talk to you guys Bombay later. Sorry for the long storytelling. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your guys' week. If it's your birthday and I missed it, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary and I missed it, happy anniversary. Drop me off one piece of cake. Aloha.